Good evening, everybody. Okay, you all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Perfect. Okay. We will begin the meeting in earnest now. All right. So I now call this May 2nd, 2025 meeting into order. Thank you. We will start with the land acknowledgement. Um, we acknowledge that the Students' Union operates on the land that was traditionally occupied by the Anishinaabeg, Haudenosaunee, and Inuit peoples. We thank them for their generosity in allowing us to hold our meeting in their territory. For regrets, Director Adam Ward has sent his regrets. We have one absent so far, Director David Zhao. I can't see him, so I probably think he's not here. Okay. So before we begin, are there any conflicts of interest to declare? No? Perfect. Alrighty. So can I have a motion that the Board of Directors adopts the agenda as presented? Motion by Director Shigano. Thank you. Seconded by Director Anas. Thank you. Is there any discussion on the matter? Okay. We will now move on to voting. All those opposed? All those abstaining? And all those in favor? Okay. Sorry. Okay. What did it tell us here? Okay, thank you. All right, I will call that vote again. So all those opposed? Director Rutherford. Okay, thank you. So all those abstaining and all those in favor. Hello? 6, 7. Dr. Zhao?
You should be able to talk. You don't have to lean into the microphone.
Okay, thank the Lord. Okay, thank you. Motion passes 0-0 to 9. Here, here. We'll now move on to minutes approval from the April 14th and 2025 meeting. Can I have a motion that the Board of Directors adopt the minutes from April 14th, 2025? Motion by Vice Chair Ferguson, seconded by Director Murphy. Thank you. Is there any discussion on the matter? No? Perfect. Then we can move on to voting. All those opposed? All those abstaining? And all those in favor? Thank you. Motion passes 0-0 to 8. Moving on to comments from the chair and CGO. I'd like to thank you all for coming to this meeting and being very responsive with your emails. I have one reminder, please make sure to do the board training that Ian was talking about. It's very helpful. I've been doing them as well. So please keep in mind and please do them. Thank you, Ian, for that. We will start hiring for committees starting in June for the Ownership Linkage Committee. So if you're interested, please feel free to reach out if you have any questions about that or with any ideas that you have. And I also like to reiterate, welcome to the Board of Directors. This is your first one. There's gonna be many more this year. You made the best decision you ever could, like joining the board. And other than that, I hope you have a great and productive summer. So moving on to comments from the CEO, President Joby. Congrats on the election.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All
Okay, go
right.
ahead.
Thank you very much. Good evening, board. Thank you for having me. I mean, it's natural that you're supposed to have me, but still, I just wanted to extend my thank you. I'm very privileged and honored to be in the position here, so I just wanted a moment to recognize that. But with that being said, I'm very excited for the year ahead to work with all of you and all of the work that we're going to be able to do together. I just wanted to quickly say that the work that you guys are doing makes a difference and it means a lot. So I hope you guys really take this role seriously and are appreciative of the opportunity to be in the position that you guys are in because we're going to do a lot of very important work together. So just wanted to extend my thanks and gratitude to you guys for taking the step to be in this position to do this work. And I'm looking forward to all the stuff that we do together. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, President Joey. That was very nice of you. Okay, so moving on to comments from the executive director and COO. Phil.
Yeah, I just want to say welcome to everybody from the new board. We're looking forward to a really great year ahead. While also saying thank you to the board that just vacated their positions. We thank them for the work that they did on behalf of undergraduate students at Wilfrid Laurier University. On that same note, I want to extend a great big thank you and goodbye to Ben Gesso and his team and the great work that they did last year. While on the other hand, welcoming Ryan and his team as we've now, we're officially towards the end of day 2 of their onboarding. So far, so good. So welcome, Ryan. We look forward to the great things that you and your team are going to do. The incoming transition team has a pretty comprehensive curriculum to onboard them over the course of the month with very intentional steps along the way, ultimately leading to helping develop their annual plan, which hopefully they'll be able to, at the very least, present to the board in the June meeting, a sketch of what that looks like. Woo, that was loud. And a more formal, finalized annual plan ready to go probably sometime in July for the July board meeting. All of that is obviously dependent on what the schedule for the board meeting looks like moving forward. But yeah, some operational updates. We have a little bit of hiring on the go right now. We have 2 positions currently posted for hiring. One is the general manager for hospitality services on the Waterloo campus. That was posted earlier this week. And I don't 100% know if our HR generalist position has been posted yet. If it hasn't been posted yet, it'll be posted early next week. We look forward to filling those 2 positions. We also are in the process of doing a review for our content designer, as we will be kind of hiring for them shortly after those other 2 positions are underway. Just a quick update with regards to some staffing issues. Director of Student Experience, Jason Verhoeve, has submitted his resignation. And we have unfortunately accepted that resignation and we'll be doing a position review for the Director of Student Experience and ultimately making operational steps to move forward and replace his role in some way, shape, or form. We're just not 100% sure what that looks like. I'm sure there'll be tons of updates on that at the June meeting. Fortunately for us, Jason is not going particularly far. He's basically moved across the hall and will be working under Heather Gaffney's tutelage in the student success department. And he's taken on the role of manager of manager of orientation programs, I believe is his title. Ultimately, he'll be in charge of the onboarding of all students, both undergraduate and graduate across the university at all points of intake. So for undergraduates, those are traditionally September, January, and May. For graduate students, it's a little less black and white. And so their onboarding will be a little bit more flexible, but he'll be ultimately overseeing all of that program, trying to make sure that every student has an equitable onboarding into and orientation into the Laurier experience. Quick point of operational update. Wilfs will be opening for the summer for lunch hours starting on Monday, May the 12th. They are not opening next week as we want them to participate in some of our onboarding material with the new team, but we will be ready to go and open for lunches starting on May 12th. And that's it for now. Dun, dun, dun.
Knock on wood. Thank you, Phil. Okay, so I'll just go on to the governance coordinator update. We have hired a governance coordinator. His name is Manjot Desi. I believe he's starting on the 5th. Yep, okay. Ian and I and Sarah went through a very rigorous interview process. We interviewed a lot of amazing candidates and we picked this one. So the role simply is sort of like a board secretary in that he answers both to the chair and to Ian. He'll be in charge of, setting our agendas. He'll also be acting as an elections officer during our election season. So we thank him for joining us, even though he's not at this meeting. But but you will see him in the June meeting. Okay. Now we come to the crux of the meeting tonight, which is setting our summer meeting schedule. The way that this has worked in the past was we picked a day, like say Monday, and we had that be like our board meeting day, and then we would just work around it. So in the summer we just had Mondays, and then we'd pick a time that worked with everyone. Last year it was Mondays at 7 p.m. and that happened to work with almost everyone. So does such an arrangement work with you guys as well? is the question. It works with me. This is also a nice way for you to just put up your hand and speak and let me know how I can say your name as well. So you're all mandated to speak now. Thank you. Director Anas. Mondays at 7, it works with you? Perfect. Dr. Lucas? That works for you? Okay. All right. Vice Chair Ferguson?
Mondays at 7 will work for me. Yep.
Thank you. Director Murphy?
I believe it should as of right now, but I'd have to email you due to my job in the summer, so I'd have to figure out logistics, but we'll say yes for now.
Perfect. Thank you. Keep in mind that for like the summers, we'll only be meeting once a month anyways, and so it should be easier when it comes to scheduling as well. Director Robert Bilodeau?
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, Bilodeau. Yeah, Mondays at 7 work for me.
Perfect. And Director Rutherford? Rutherford?
Yep. Mondays at 7 will work.
Okay, and did I say it right?
It's Rutherford.
Rutherford. Perfect. Thank you. Okay, and Director Zhao?
Yeah, Monday at 7 p.m. works for me.
Okay. And did I say it right as well?
Yep.
Okay. Thank you. So this was the easiest one. Mondays at 7 will be our summer meeting time, so we just need to work on the dates. Okay. So how does June 9th work for everyone for our June meeting? Is that good? Show of hands. Good, good. Okay. So June 9th. And how does July 14th sound? Yes, good. Perfect. Thank you. Okay, June 9th, July 14th, and August 11th. Not a lot of show of hands. Okay. We can do August 18th or the 4th. Is there a preference on either or, like earlier August or later August? Early August, okay. So 11th? Yeah, okay, one person. Yeah. Okay. So we have June 9th, July 14th, and August 11th for our summer meeting schedules. Please, 4th is most likely better for me. All right, Director Murphy. How is August 4th then for everyone? Is that easier?
Personally, I can't do August 4th. So that's just me. I can likely make it work. It's just I won't have internet connection where I'm going to be. So I'm going to be on like 1 bar of data.
Okay. Thank you, Vice Chair Ferguson. Okay, then we'll just do August 11th for that one. Director Murphy, that means you won't be joining that one, even though it'll be like the fun one. Just send me your regrets earlier on and let me know if you can't make it. Same goes for everyone else. Let me know if you can't make it to any of these dates. We'll also set our September meeting as well. Obviously by August you already have like an example of how your schedule will look for the rest of the year. I'm hoping we can continue with having it Mondays at 7 p.m. simply so that like it's easier when you're setting your school schedule as well, so that you can set it around that time and we can have just Mondays at 7 being like the time of for our board meetings, but we can have this discussion again in August. However, we can try setting our September meeting as September 8th. Is that all right for now? Sure. September 8th? Good. Probably? Okay, perfect. Thank you. All right. Let's just go with that then. So we have June 9th. June 9th, July 14th, August 11th. And September 8th. Okay, those are our meeting schedules for the summer. I will just make a motion to, right, okay. So can I get a motion that the Board of Directors approve the summer meeting schedule for June 9th, 2025, July 14th, 2025, August 11th, 2025, and September 8th, 2025. Motion by Director Shigano, seconded by Vice Chair Ferguson. Is there any discussion on the matter? Okay. We move on to voting. So all those opposed, all those abstaining, and all those in favor. All right, motion passes 0-0 to 8. And now we'll be talking about board vacancies, right, Ian?
Yeah, so right now the board currently sits at 10 members. The full board is 12. We didn't have enough nominations during the January election period. We reopened nominations subsequently, but still only have 10. So we have 10 board members, 1 board member from Brantford. We need 12 members and 2 from Brantford. So as the brief outline, there's a few different ways that the board can deal with this. If you had runner-up members from the last election, you could invite a runner-up. We don't have that. The other 2 options are either a special meeting or the board can fill a vacancy. How the board can do that is they can advertise the opportunity, ask candidates to submit nominations. Those people would come to the board meeting and then we'd run a little mini election amongst the board. So you'd have those members would have the opportunity to kind of put forward their ideas, and then you as the board would vote on the successful candidates. Given the challenges that we have had in the past with special meetings, our recommendation would be at this first September meeting to figure out a nomination period. Have a nomination call go out in September when everyone is back on campus and engaged, and then hopefully have some successful candidates to run a board election for those 2 spots. So that's our what we would kind of recommend for greatest success.
Okay, thank you, Ian. If you guys have any people that you think would make great directors, let them know that we are. Yes, Ryan? Okay. Yes, Phil.
I was gonna suggest that because of the Get Involved fair that typically happens in early September as part of orientation week, that's usually a great opportunity to do a little bit of recruiting for new students that are on campus. And getting the first year perspective on the board might not be a bad idea. Just a thought.
Thank you. That's something that our ownership linkage committee will work on as well. So keep that in mind. Director Murphy, do you have a question?
Not necessarily a question. I was just gonna say I think I could definitely help trying to find some people, and I'm very confident that I could find people fitting of the position as well. So I can help you out with that there.
Thank you, Director Murphy. We would love to have you on the ownership linkage committee. Please apply for that. Please join the committee when we do our elections next month. Okay. With that being said, is there any discussion on the matter before we proceed to an in-camera session? Yeah. Oh, okay. Okay, sorry. So can I get a motion that the board of directors, what do I say?
See, leave the 2 spots vacant until September.
We will discuss it.
You just motion that the board would leave the 2 vacancies until the September meeting, at which point the board could determine the dates for a board election.
Okay. Can I get a motion that the board of directors continue with the 2 vacant spots until we open another election in the September meeting? Motioned by Director Murphy, seconded by Director Anas. Is there any discussion on the matter? Yes, Vice Chair Ferguson?
So more so just a quick question, just one question I sort of just want to raise. With it being short, two directors, I was sort of just looking for quorum requirements, just as a risk since summer months tend to be less engaging. Is the quorum for the board still the same as if we have a 12 director slate with a 10, or does it adjust as well?
Okay, so it adjusts based on like the the number of directors that we have on the board. So now that we have 10 directors, the quorum requirement is 7, I believe. So as long as we have our 7 directors present, we can continue with our meetings as needed. Thank you for that question, Vice Chair Ferguson. Yes. Okay. Okay, we will now move on to voting unless there's any more discussion on the matter. No? Okay. So, all those opposed? All those abstaining? And all those in favor? Okay, motion passes 0-0 to 8. Thank you. We will now have a motion that the board moves to an in-camera session. What that means is that for those online, you will go, there's another Teams link that was sent by Ian to your emails most likely. So just go to that one and that will have our in-camera session. The difference is with our Zoom meetings, because they're online, they're being live streamed at the moment, but our in-camera sessions will be private and will be recorded, but will only stay within the board itself. So can I have a motion that the board moves to an in-camera session? Motion by Vice Chair Ferguson, second by Dr. Shigano. Okay, is there any discussion on the matter? All right, we'll move on to voting. All those opposed? All those abstaining? And all those in favor? Okay, motion passes 0-0 to 8. Thank you. I'll see you all in the